That's right, release your mind because you're not alone, people. Third Phase moves back to new homes around the world. You know what? Wow. Let's get to it. Area code 919. You're live, Third Phase. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, how's it going? Who's this?
Hey, this is Josh.
Hey, Josh. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. We got a friend of ours in the studio. He's from South Carolina, but man, welcome to the show, Josh. What's going on down over there in North Carolina?
Hey, I've seen actually a UFO over here recently.
Really?
It was actually pretty quick, yeah. Also, there's a bunch of things coming up I also wanted to talk about. Sorry, I forgot her name, but her dad was killed at Area 51 and all that. I've been keeping up to date, but I forgot her name.
Yeah, her name's Chalice.
Chalice, that's right.
Yep.
You've heard this a lot, right? The story is very, very convincing, but I say this to everybody. You could have the most elaborate story, but there's no proof. I've never seen real proof. I've heard amazing stories, but there's really no proof. I mean, sure, there's videos everywhere, but there's never any proof. That's all I have to say.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, Joey, you're exactly right. Hey, I appreciate that statement because, the proof, we don't have it yet. As far as photographic evidence, well, there's proof in a lot of eyewitness testimony that would stand up in a criminal court of law anywhere in the United States. So in the courts, if the UFO phenomenon was put on trial, it'd be found that guilty. Hey, they exist. You're a UFO. But in this case, I know what you're asking. You want something more, right?
Right.
What do you want?
I'm hoping 2016 is the year that the government decides to expose everything and stop trying to call every UFO that we see an air balloon or something dumb like that.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of good evidence on Third Phase, and I'm sure you've seen some things on there that.
Oh yeah, plenty.
Go, well, like that's something, and it's it doesn't look like one of ours, right?
Right. Another thing, the dragon tail UFO thing, that was, oh God, that was weird.
Yeah, did you see that thing split up in 3 parts like that? And
that was weird.
Come on, people. There's something going on, and I know, Joey's a skeptic in his own sense, but that's what you got to be in this field. Question everything you see, and if it looks extraordinary, unordinary, then there's something to it. I want to thank Josh for calling in. Let's get to the next caller. It's been holding on for over a half hour now. 417. Hey, thanks for waiting. Welcome to Third Phase.
How you doing, guys?
Doing pretty good tonight. How about yourself? Happy New Year.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for taking my call.
No problem, man. That's what we do right here at Third Phase. What's your name, man?
My name's, I'm a patriot, let's say.
Okay.
And I'd like to a lot of people come to your website and listen to your show because you guys have such excellent footage and have so many people who send in footage to you guys. And I'd like to say that you guys do an excellent job of that. And to those people who come to this website and want proof of things that people are seeing, my advice is go and research the case of the Phoenix Lights. I was in the military and called in aerial-delivered munitions and aerial-delivered flares of every different kind. I've seen every different kind of flare deployed by nearly every aircraft on the planet except for a very few aircraft. And all of them are made of one of just a few types of material. And when they're deployed, they swing in the air. There's currents in the air at all times. It's very rare that there isn't at least some wind gust. Now, all these flares are deployed on a parachute, of course. And flares that are deployed to the battlefield are deployed right above the battlefield. It's not like they're deployed, 6,500 meters up in the sky, because what is a magnesium flare going to do at a mile above the ground? It's not going to light anything. So any kind of flare that's delivered over the battlefield is delivered directly over the battlefield. They're designed to last a long time, and they're designed to be there in masses. You shoot 6 or 7 at a time when you call for fire for them. Any of them that are in the sky that you call in, that is almost always going to be a chopper has released it or an aircraft has released it. And you can go and look at the footage, and I'm telling you, that is something that is not a flare. What it is, I don't know. But it is not a flare. I can tell you that much.
So, right there, there's a lot of people out there that, there's a lot of videos on third phase, frankly, that people simply say, no, that's just military flares. And then, and these guys have never been in the military. They have no idea what they look like. And then you know what they look like, and you basically are giving testimony, as I was just stating earlier, that, no, this would hold up under eyewitness accounts in a court of law.
And what's really funny is that those of us who have called in fire and who have an intricate understanding of how to illuminate the battlefield, having been specifically trained to do so, it was absolutely apparent in 97. I'm 46 years old. And it was absolutely apparent to me the very day that it was happening in the news that it wasn't flares. I turned and looked at all my friends. I told my family, that ain't flares. Well, how do you know? I said, because I've called them. I know what they look like. That ain't them. I don't care what they say. Now, everybody that lives there, they know that anyway. But I want everybody who comes to your site and is looking for a visual evidence of, not only do you have so many fantastical pictures and videos that people should truly take a look at and understand that this phenomenon is real. If you have to have proof, there's the only testimony that I can give in my experience that can say you can go back to archive and find that it's real.
Wow, Patriot, that's what it's all about, is people having their own minds, making their own determination of what they're looking at. And that's what we allow Third Phase of Moon as a filter of the people out there around the world that want to submit evidence to the people that are interested in seeing this. And it needs to be seen a lot more. We're approaching 300,000 subscribers here, I think maybe by the end of this week. So that's quite amazing. But, that's 300,000.
People are very interested in this subject, very interested.
They are. And
as rightly they should be. I would encourage people who have already done the proofs to themselves and are satisfied with the visual evidence that yes, there is something that is not made by our government that is here watching and observing in some form or fashion. I would deserve you to then take the further steps to find the empirical evidence that is here on the planet already. And those are in the forms of the research of Bud Hopkins, the late Bud Hopkins, of Dr. David Jacobs, and of Dr. Mack from Harvard. These men have spent decades doing this. They give out empirical evidence that has been asked, that people ask the questions, well, when are we going to have these answers or those answers? They're there. And the thing is that if you know anything about the hybridization program, it seems to be coming down to some kind of very specific end for those who have done the research and know. So if anybody is interested in the subject, find the visual evidences there are, like here on this site, and quickly move past them to find what the deeper evidences are of what's going on and what's in store for our planet. Because if we don't, as a human race, quickly pick up the scientific end of this ball and start throwing as hard and fast as we can, we're and we probably already are behind the curve too far to catch up. I would advise the members of government that know about this, I would advise you to try and find a way to gain clemency. And I think that we as the people ought to offer clemency it's amazing the amount of truths that will come out when you tell someone who has sheltered themselves behind all of this, don't worry, you'll be okay, you can step out into the light. If we can get enough of them to do it, it will help the entire planet.
I want to ask you this question, and we might hold off on the break, but did you hear about this, I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's, this is rock solid, but if Hillary Clinton was elected president, she's going to get to the bottom of this UFO phenomenon. Did you hear anything about this?
I have, actually. I have.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's get to the break, and then we'll get back to the Patriot in regards to, is Hillary Clinton going to get to the bottom of UFOs? Wow. This is something that, I guess you'll have to stick around. We'll be right back. It's Third Phase of Moon. We'll be right back. Third Phase of Moon. That's right. Third Phase of Moon puts it out. Let people decide what they think. I'm not around here telling you what these are. And I hope that there aren't people, if you trust somebody that says this is what they are and they're know-it-alls, well, okay, go ahead and believe those guys. But I don't think a lot of people out there have any idea what they're talking about in regards to this UFO phenomenon, except possibly and more likely these abductees that have been taken aboard and experienced it up close. And hearing the testimony that we've heard over the years at Third Phase now, again, I think this would stand up in a court of law that, wow, something is going down big. And is Hillary Clinton going to get down to the bottom of this? Now, that's a question. We're going to get to the Patriot right now. I guess he's got some information. Is this the real deal?
You know, other presidents have tried to disclose what there is to be disclosed. The truth is that.
Is it proven that she actually said this? Was this on camera or was this some interview? Who did the interview?
I don't think it's actually, there is no documented news source of it, but it is going around the internet. That's what she's going to do. That's probably been said down low to be kind of semi-spread out there, but the truth is that the president is an insulated figure who is kept busy with his daily routine, and he really has no power to...
but if she came...
To find it.
She's going to be interviewed. She's going to be up on 60 Minutes here pretty soon, I'd imagine. And she's going to... And why didn't she just say it there to the world, and then maybe there might be some push? Because when you get a lot of push going, but it's not going to happen, it's not. Especially from...
It's not. We have to rely on people like the French and the Russians who continue to champion, as badly as people may think about the French. I know some people have problems with the French. Americans are innately built to have problems with the Russians. But the truth is that the Russians are pretty indiscreet about what they tell people sometimes. The Chinese have a rover on the moon right now, people. And they've shown people stuff. It's right there for you to see. All you have to do is go and look. So there are other outside influences that are trying to, quote, force disclosure. But our government, unless they wise up and understand that they could do it in ways like ask the public to use the public observatories that are in every state to observe certain craters on the moon. It would allow for disclosure to come at a slow rate and for people to acclimatize. But back to your question, Hillary Clinton doesn't have the ability to. She doesn't. The age where presidents had the ability to disclose are gone. And if you want to know where it really ended at, go look what Mr. Eisenhower said in parting. He didn't leave office and say...
Let's get down to this question. Here's my question here. So if you want to find out about UFO disclosure, don't vote for her because it's not going to happen. Because I think there's a big trick. There's a big trick trying to say, oh, yeah, she's that number one person to vote for, and go, whoa, yeah, she's cool. She's going to do that. But then it's just like you just pretty much stated, there's really no, till she states it in public or on camera. I haven't changed any opinion about that anyway.
I don't think Air Force One could fly into Dreamland airspace, and with it being obvious that it's the president land there.
Exactly.
So
exactly right. That's cool. Why don't they do this already? It's ours. Dreamland is ours, people, or is it? Some people say it's its own nation in its own sense, and that's super amazing to me that exists right here in the United States. And I understand that there's secrets, but they could go film there, and land, and make a statement from there, and say, as a president, I checked around the bases, and kind of weird stuff. We're going to be getting to F1. F1's here, and he said that something very strange, and he didn't tell me what went down. He said kind of freaky, and he wants to wait to share it to the world, because that's what I say. If you want to talk about UFOs and talk to me about this, I'm like, wait a second. If the cameras or the mics are rolling, you're wasting your time, because I want to share it to you people, you that are listening right now on this radio show or on our YouTube channel. I wait for the information, and I tell the people, suppress it until you tell it to the world right here. So we're going to get to a caller next, and then we'll be getting to F1. So I wanted to get to 702. You've been waiting there for a little bit, and I thank you for joining us right here at Third Phase.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Well, doing pretty good. Who's this?
Chalice.
Chalice? Chalice is back.
And amazing stuff. On New Year's,
yep,
you saw him, didn't you?
Yes, I did. On the way, he just it was an unidentified flying object, popping light. Explain it. My brother was there. Yes, we did see a UFO.
Remember when we were talking? Do you remember when we were talking on the radio and you said, be an ambassador? You said you'd go. Well, there's a portal and there's a place right there. You were getting out of the car in the rain and there's a lightning bolt in the tree of the fire right there on the side by your house. There's a place. The reason the Apaches keep going by your house and over there is they're watching them because they're right there. They want to say hello. So one at a time, just be ready. You can't run towards them. You got to sit still, and you got to just stand there and just wait. And if you go by the tree and you take some equipment that they use is almost like ghost equipment. Like you go out there and it picks up that vibe and you see it and you're like going, whoa, is that what I just seen? And then, you tell them, I'm not afraid. I'm ready. I can do this. And it surprises people because they'll come and they'll meet with you. They told me to go to these certain places and they're ready. But who's ready and who's not? And who wants to be first?
I do.
I do. See? And maybe that's why you're chosen. Dude, their main base is in Hawaii. I was thinking, Shasta, but they told me no, you. And I said, whoa. So the best pictures are going to come from you if you just stand out there and say, all right, I'm ready. And only send out good happiness, love, and I'm ready. And they'll start coming towards you and you'll start seeing it. And it's going to be cool. But the best ones are right there standing next to you. That's the one.
Let me ask you this, Chalice. Let me ask you this. After the videos have been come out, so far you've been on Third Phase of Moon twice. And some of these have been viewed, I think, probably altogether, maybe over 2 million people have heard your story so far, at least. So, and there's a lot of people that are making comments on this. Have you participated in replying back to some of the comments, the questions that are being asked? Because, there's a lot of people that are asking questions and wanting answers and thanking you for you sharing your incredible experience.
I love their comments. I even like the negative ones, they make sense because the higher consciousness of people are opening up. They're waking up. And they say we're ready. And, we're going to choose who's going to be, in office because they're going to come to us and they're going to say, well, the smartest people here are here, and they mean the best for you. And you're going to, it's good. I got a surprise for you guys. You really want to, it's going to be coming out, and eventually they're going to say, hey, we got this little thing going on, and they're going to start pointing fingers. Well, first they pointed out that, Area 51. Ooh, look, aliens. This is how they're trying to get it out there without saying, oh, look, they're out there. And then they said, okay, now we're going to try to lay out Lady Gaga and all the kittens. And the kittens were freed out, man. I went, oh, my God, but they're Anunnaki. But now they're going to go further. They're going to tell us. They said they were going to let us see all of the sportsmen, the ones that play in sports that make millions of dollars. They're called Annie and Tells. And we thought they took steroids. But their blood, if we take a blood test, we can actually start realizing. But people start freaking, saying, oh, my God, they're all around us. But look, these people love us, and they've been here, and we think they're superstars. And you got to think how deep it's going to get when you do finally look next to you and start realizing, wow. And that's when you start saying, I'm affecting families because these people have been here for a while, and they don't mean no harm. But we're going to have to go there, and the only way to do that is people start acting like a witch hunt, and they shouldn't. That one guy that was on just now, he was the smartest man. He taught me a lesson. Forgive them all. Balance the good and the bad.
Let me ask you this, Chalice, and I want to. Let's all think about this, right? Because one of the callers said all you need to do is have Air Force Ones land into Dreamland, right? And what president between, let's just say, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton would be, if you're going to vote for either one, just on a bet, whether you like the
They're
person
both
or not, if for
Hillary
the disclosure, who would do it?
but Hillary and Trump are cousins. They're Anunnaki. And I'll be honest with you, didn't Nixon lose his? Didn't they get fired or something? Nixon did for
So you're
60, right? So Hillary lost 10,000 votes or something like that of emails. So
Yep.
Wow, he lost his presidency, and she should probably account for that. They say we're going to go through each one, and we're going to say, look, we forgive you, but now the truth's coming out because now we've forgiven you, but this is the truth. But we decide we don't want none of them. We turn our backs on almost all of them. We decide the wisest people are, and we do it the right way, and we love each other. And, everybody's worried about California, and, that a giant wave could be like a lot of people are saying. And I was listening to this one guy. He said, maybe the wave is the movie cinema.
Or an earthquake.
The earthquake. They're saying the water wave. They're saying, they're going to drown. I'm thinking, if you go by a different, like what that one guy was studying, it means maybe, they're going to realize that you're either going to turn around and start being open-minded and not be like they are now, show smut everywhere. I mean, nobody wants to see it. And these kittens, they threw them out there. So now, notice how, what's his name, the old dude that does the magazines, the big-time old magazines. He's one of the richest guys in the world, and he wears that red robe. And
Forbes magazine?
No. This is called Playboy magazine. So Playboy. Playboy. Hugh Hefner. He changed everything. He met with one, and he changed. I'm not going to do no more smut. No more. I'll do the magazine's going to go straight on just articles, and we're going to start cutting back on everything. You see everything changing. So
okay, hold on a sec, Chalice. This sounds like a whole different show. So you're saying Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump are Anunnaki, and then Hugh Hefner met an alien.
Oh, they had to have. Listen, when I was there, anybody that was there or presidents were coming and going. Bill Clinton knows, all of them know. Even Carter knew. Bush knew. Bush, once he got the keys to the door, man, he didn't want no one to go, and he still keeps the key. But he still, Clinton got a little mad about that, but he knows a lot because they met with him. These articles where, the president was flying in the airplane, Jimmy Carter. They don't tell you the whole story. He met with them. They tell you they met with every president. Once you know they met with every president, and then they tell you that they make these deals, but they don't let you have them. And then you just sit there and go, wow, you did that to us. And you don't trust them. I mean, I was all for many years for Hillary. I swear I was. A woman, for one. And for 12 years of my life, she was in Congress and taught me things. And my dad had respect for her. But when everything changed, we realized, hey, wow, they're doing for themselves. The gifts stopped coming to America. It stopped coming. And when they started killing off the best of our Navy men and telling our Navy men they're not seeing what they're seeing and punishing them, it wasn't good. So we're going to step up and we're going to tell them no more. No more. But, we're going to meet them. You're going to meet them. You want to meet them. You're ready.
Oh.
And,
yeah.
It's right there. They're right there in Hawaii. You're going to know there's actually a place where you go, and it's an ancient, very ancient.
This place is a hot spot. It's been picked by the Hawaiians. They've been here. Some people say over 3,000 years. In this place, they've had special ceremonies, grand structures, mega structures built, and now it's kind of all overgrown, and it's kind of secluded all by itself. So that it's electric. And me, Brennan, has had some amazing experiences over the years over there. Not once, not twice. This, I think, was our fifth experience. And it's just while we're driving by. I think this is a place for the world to see. I think this place, everybody should come down here if they want to go UFO hunting. And I don't know, we're not setting anything up, but this is like if you're a UFO hunter, equipment, you got people that are really interested, you can contact us. Maybe we could figure something out because I tell you, every time we've been out there looking for UFOs at this certain spot, and it's on the Hamakua coast where we live, it's just absolutely incredible. You know what? We're going to get back to Chalice. Maybe she's got some questions for F1 because F's back and he's got something to share. But before I get to him, I want to ask him a question: Donald or Hillary, as far as any chance of UFO disclosure, whether you like them or not? The answer, F1, go ahead.
Well, hey guys, aloha. And I want to first of all say to Chalice, sorry I haven't been able to return the calls that you've given me because just some weird stuff happened. First of all, it doesn't matter who the president is because they're only puppets. The people that control the presidency is absolutely, it doesn't matter what puppet is in the place of the puppet because the puppet here is the same. And that's the one we don't see behind the screen.
Some people say, though, that Trump he's his own puppet. Like, nobody's above him. He's like $10 billion in his back pocket. Who's going to tell him what to do? I guess, maybe. I don't know. I guess once you're in there going through
I agree with that, Blake, a lot. But, at the same time, he's subject to the good old boy philosophy as well. He really is. And he has to be because when he tried to go against the flow before, he almost lost his empire. And nobody quite remembers that. And it took him 10 to 12 years to build that empire back up because he started going by the rules. I want to say to everyone that knows me, way before it was confirmed or agreed by Weather Channel or anything else, I started putting together earthquakes with being within a very short period, like the next day, of a huge UFO sighting. Well, I went away 5 days ago just to get away and take a freaking break from everything that I have to deal with. And went to Palm Desert and stayed at one of my favorite places where they comped me out, and went out to the pool the first night, and nobody's there. No one's in the jacuzzi. I felt really great. The second night I was there, went out to the pool, went out to the jacuzzi, and as I'm floating on my back and with nobody there, absolutely nobody. As I'm floating on my back looking upwards, I could see a very obvious star that kept moving towards me, and it was huge, and it just kind of stayed there. And I kind of got this message as, you didn't visit me the first night because you were checking to see if the usual people that come visit me while I have these suites are coming. And now you know that no one's here and no one's coming, so tonight you're going to mess with me. Did finish my pool, finish my jacuzzi, went to the casino, gambled a little bit, went in rather early, about 12 o'clock compared to 2 o'clock when I usually do. I usually wake up in the morning at 5:30. The next morning I woke up at 11:30 and was kind of shocked, and all I can remember is flying. A lot of flying. I was flying. I could see my birds in my cage. I was flying. I saw a lot of different things that told me that I was going over great spaces. I looked in the mirror when I went into the bathroom, and all around my face were purple to reddish, incredibly gnarly burns, like radiation burns, that I still have on my face right now 5 days later.
What? No.
And I threw up white substance for about an hour, even though I had not partied at all. I mean,
That's
I had
that's
my
what I was
normal
going to say. The
couple
party's
years.
over.
No, sir. No, sir. I
No.
mean, I own everything I do. I'm here to freaking tell you that it's really quite amazing. And then about 2 hours before I checked out to come back home, wouldn't you know it, there was almost a 5.0 earthquake directly, according to Earthquake Alert and the USGS, right where I was. Right where I was. Exactly where I was, on the same exit, in the same location, with no fracking places around, no gas reclamation systems, no fissures, nothing close to the Andreas or the other 17 different faults that are major faults in the area. And if you look at my face right now, I didn't take a picture. I could take one right now. You could still see them. But I didn't take a picture because I was so scared and so freaked out that I put my hoodie over my head. It's the first time I took my Ferrari to a casino ever. It's in many, many years, because I found a place to park it under a camera away from everybody. But I kept that hoodie on and didn't want people to see my face. The next day, before I checked out and when I checked out and when I was driving on the road, even though it was pouring rain like I've never seen before, and I could feel the earthquake in the car when I stopped to get gas in Cabazon, California, and my earthquake alert was going off, and the earthquake was right where I just was the night after I felt like I was flying. In the morning, I woke up and have purple, I'm telling you, all around my eyes, from my cheekbones to my chin. When I got home, my wife and my son said, "Dad, what the fuck? What the hell what happened to you? Did you get in a fight?" It's that gnarly. It's that gnarly.
Yikes, man. That's no. You're not going to share the picture of you, I'd imagine, but.
No, bro, I probably would have for you, but
yep.
I'm just being honest, man.
It's okay. We don't need
nothing I really want to frickin' remember.
We don't. It's fine. And that's, it's just, so are you going to be permanently
I can send you a picture right now. I'll take a picture of my face if nobody believes me, and you can still see in my upper cheeks and my eye area, incredible purple. You know what it looks like to me? And I mean, I swear to God, this is probably part of it. It looks like radiation burns, and we all know how you get those.
Yeah, exactly. That's and I want to make a statement here, because I was thinking about this, because big events happen around that gut feeling, and sometimes maybe a little nausea, as F1 just experienced. But these gut feelings before major events is nothing new by any means. And this is scientifically proven that people have this ability. So people got to wake up that there's a spirit world out there. There's an alien world out there. There's a big world out there. I know Brent had an experience, and it was basically straight out of Star Wars. I feel a great disturbance in the Force when Alderaan was blown up by the Death Star. And then, Brent, tell us about this experience that you had. I'm not even, he already knows. Go ahead, Brent. Here. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Yeah, Blake, thanks for having me. Yeah, you're kind of bringing up an old story. This happened, I think, 2005, December 24th. My girl was in the mainland at the time in Boston. Shout out, by the way. And then she called early in the morning here in Hawaii, about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm talking to her, and I'm like feeling a little down. And I'm thinking I'm not feeling that great. And I'm saying, and I told her, I feel like there's a lot of people dying around in the world right now, a lot of them. Then it turned out the tsunami in Indonesia there wiped out 250,000 souls on this earth. Is a sad day. And that was somewhat of a premonition that I felt came true in a sense, but it was a strange, maybe circumstance. But I felt like it was happening, and it was
at the exact same time, Brent. We said, I asked Brent the next day, so when were you thinking this? When were you stating this? And it's happening at the exact same time, this major deal. So, we all have this ability, and what are we going to do with it? And we don't want to trigger anything. I don't think we're triggering anything on these thoughts, but it's just, wow, how does this happen, right? How does this happen? And I'm sure Chalice has a quick answer for this, or has some kind of insight. Go ahead, Chalice.
If the plebeians meet with you, if you, I'll be honest with you, he floated to the sky, which means the only thing I can think of is Pluto faced us. He went hydroplating up because he was trying to, get away from whatever. Maybe he was happy. I don't know. When he was hydroplating, he faced Pluto maybe. And if you want to go that way for, the abilities, because men have the ability to fly around planets. And I can't do that, but I've seen them do it. And they leave their body, and then they say, oh, look, Pluto just faced us, and I'm getting burned. And there's a lot of radiation right now hitting Earth, especially California right now. And NASA announced this, and they sent me a thing on it, and I said, whoa. So I haven't been trying to astroglide. I've been just staying put because of it. But then the plebeians told me that the rain has nanos in it. And the nanos are supposed to help us. But what they can do is turn on you. But there's a way. We are smarter, we're higher beings, right? We got micros. Micros are smarter than anything. They're kind of like a Jedi thing, like what your brother has. Your brother felt the ability of time. And when he did that, he actually felt how much death happened in the world, and he could actually know each soul. But what is amazing is that they crossed through his path.
What about,
it was like he was there.
We're just about ending the show, and we're going to continue this next week, Friday. So we invite Chalice back and F1, obviously, and anybody from around the world to share their UFO stories. It's been an amazing hour. And this is going to be going on Third Phase of Moon tonight with visuals and some new evidence that just came into Third Phase via Facebook and our Google. So we're going to be posting that as well with videos.
That was a nicer way.
But here's my question, Chalice, and we only got a minute, but I just want to, I know you've heard of MK Ultra, obviously, right?
Yes.
And this secret mind control program where people would use these kind of abilities in not so pleasant of a manner, where they would mind blast somebody. And, let's get back into that next week, because, wow, we could go on for a long time, but that's a whole new subject. So let's do a special update on Wednesday. We'll do a Wednesday episode next week, Wednesday. You up for that, Chalice?
Yeah, just send me one of those links, because, I got a lot of kids.
I'll give you a heads up, Chalice. That's
and
perfect.
You know that Franny wasn't in the room for the whole phone call. She was only in here for like a few seconds, and she ran out, so she didn't hear anything. A lot of people think my granddaughter stayed in the room. She didn't. She said, hi, how you doing? I did this, and ran.
Yeah, some of this could be sensitive, no doubt about it.
I know.
And,
so the first thing I did was you got to go. You got to go.
Got to go. Don't bring your granddaughter for this next episode, that's for sure.
No, they're gone. Everybody's gone. I'm all alone, so I made sure they
Chalice, appreciate it. Thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase. Been good
what
to
I
see
told
you.
That for real. They're there. They're going to meet with you. I'm not kidding. They chose you for one of the ambassadors. You and your brother are going to be standing there. You guys have abilities because you're like twins. And your son has some kind of ability. I'm not sure yet because he does really unusual things. But you guys, it's going to be awesome. You're going to stand out there and they say climb the mountain. But before you go to the top, we'll come out and each one of us might meet with you. And if we do, then you'll see us ascend. And you'll be able to know us from that day on, only the good and not the bad, which is good. You can control your abilities. They'll give it to you.
You know what? Thanks, Chalice. And, I think we've been visited. I think we know we have. And one quick correction, I don't have a son. but my brother does. And Brent's son's right here. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
There you go. That's Cameron. He just walked in on the show in the last minute. And it's supper time for everybody at Third Phase Moon home. It's been a good show. Join us next week, Friday. We'll be here. And if you capture anything incredible, like something you can't explain, you know where to share it. It's right here, Third Phase of Moon. You're sharing it to the world. Blake Cousins. We'll see everybody again next week, Friday. Listen to Paul Barrett's tracks. They're always out on iTunes. Here it is, everybody.
Third phase of moon.